Is a resale or a new development better? And how do I make money from my first property? Two questions that I clearly didn't ask myself or my agent at the time before I bought my first home. And boy, was that a mistake. Hey guys, and welcome to The Home Truth, where we tell you the truth, the home truth, and nothing but the truth, and hopefully help you to avoid making the same mistakes that I did and educate you on how you can make better property purchases. I'm Kelly Latimer, and together with my property team, we're here to help. Okay, so let's start by telling you a little more about me. I bought my first home at the age of 28. My husband and I were newly married, living with my folks, and desperately trying to save up for our first home. We wanted to move in immediately. We craved our own space, as you do, right? So after hunting for a little while, we chanced upon a condo. The apartment itself wasn't very big. It was just shy of about 1,000 square feet, 2+1 bedrooms, but incredible facilities. Like seriously, that swimming pool was amazing. It didn't take us long to decide that that was going to be our first home, and before we knew it, we were moving in. Then we blinked again, and 2 years, one kid, and a million toys later, we realized we'd outgrown the space. Although my husband will tell you that my wardrobe never really fit in the first place, but that's another story. We found ourselves hunting for a new place, and simultaneously we were looking to put our place on the market. Long story short, after several price drops, we managed to sell our place. We sucked up the losses and took it as a very expensive lesson. We walked away a little wounded, but wiser. So going into our second purchase, this time we had the knowledge and insight of our new agent, an agent who actually listened to our needs. He helped us identify potential properties, educated us. Can you imagine that? He actually educated us on what would be a good deal and what would be a steal. That man is James Boy. Now, his knowledge and expertise and his dedication make him by far one of the best agents that I've ever met or dealt with. And through learning from him, I realized that there was a lot of insight to share. And so here we are. Whilst I share my mistakes, James and his partner Eric, who I like to call our data dude, will be sharing how you can avoid making them. So this is James and this is Eric. Say hi, guys.
Hi.
Alrighty, so let's talk through my $80,000 lesson that you guys are all getting for free, yeah? Alrighty, James, where did I go wrong?
So there are a few things I can identify, but the biggest one, you were just too emotional.
But what's wrong with being emotional? I mean, you buy a house like it's going to be an emotional purchase, right?
I understand, property being one of the biggest ticket items someone will buy, people tend to be emotional. Even for myself, who have been in this line for 10 over years, when I bought my own property, I was overly emotional, even more so than my wife. But like our dear Eric here, who's a robot, he will tell you that emotions are just a feeling. It's not based on financial analysis, data whatsoever, and therefore it should not have any financial bearings on the property purchase.
Unlike James and Kelly, who are dreamers, I'm more of a realist. I see things in dollars and cents, and I will never buy something that will not make money. For me to commit a property, I will throw my emotions out the window. I will always look at the past transactions of units in the same area and to access the future potential upside of the area. I will also access my exit strategy. When will be the best time for me to cash out the property?
Well, it almost sounds like you're trying to check out before you check in, but I can understand why that might be important and how being so emotional is possibly not a great thing. Okay, James, what else did I do wrong?
What Eric's talking about is growth areas. In the property industry terms, we call these areas growth areas. Growth areas are areas that basically the government is telling you through the master plan that we will be developing this area. There will be new amenities, new infrastructure, schools, offices and whatnot. So long story short, with more amenities equals more people who want to buy, more people want to buy, more demand, price higher, easier to sell.
Ideally, this infrastructure will be completed or near completion by the time you plan to sell your place. So the first thing is to make a rough estimation how long you'll be staying at this place based on your life decision. And then you find a place that would have some new infrastructure that will be ready by the time you want to sell.
I like it, so a bit more long-term planning. Okay, I can get behind that. What else?
So, like you just mentioned, long-term planning, you always wanted kids, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm all about the kids.
That being said, your previous place, the living room, a tad tiny.
I like how you say it's just a tad tiny. It was so tiny, it was so small.
And we all know kids need space. So basically, what I'm saying here is the reason for you want to move from your previous place, you're being forced to move due to the lack of space. So my clients, from experience, those who are being forced to move due to certain circumstances, they are the one that would make a loss on their property.
So basically, suck it up, buttercup. But to be fair, at that point, I don't think we could have afforded anything more.
That's a very valid point. A lot of our clients in their late 20s and early 30s face the exact same problem. But if you were to do your sums up properly, you have realized that your upfront payment would have been actually be lower if you had bought a new development. For example, for both a new launch and a resale, you pay the same amount of 25% down payment. But for a new launch, you do not need to spend more money on renovation, appliances such as the fridge, the stove, the washing machine, and the aircon, etc. And with the rising renovation costs nowadays, that amount can be quite significant. It must be paid in cash, no CPF. So that would have been a quite hefty cash coupled with your 25% down payment. Was that what happened to you, Kelly?
Honestly, if I think back now, yes, I think you're right. You know, I remember like the amount of cash that we had to lay out just to deck out the place and make it look presentable because it was a slightly older unit. But yes, no CPF. I remember talking to the vendors, the contractors, and saying, hey, yeah, CPF, right? And they're like, no. So that I can understand. And I think some really valid points there for us to take note of, and I think something for us all to consider. So I guess if you're watching this and you're maybe in the predicament that I was in when I was 28 and looking to purchase my first property, now at least you've got some solid points to think about before you put your skin in the game. So remember, you need to think about weighing the emotional versus practical factors. You need to look at growth areas and assess the potential. And you need to think of your long-term needs. Now, of course, this list isn't all. There are plenty more factors to weigh up when buying your first property. And if you don't want to end up making a costly mistake, then you need to sign up for our free masterclass. James and Eric will share industry secrets and take you through in greater detail how you can make the most of your first property choice. You can sign up now at the Home Truth SG Facebook or Instagram page. Well, that's it from us, but do stay tuned for more tips, tricks, hacks, and masterclasses to help you make better property purchases right here at The Home Truth. Now, if you liked this video, go ahead and share it with your friends and family and help spread the home truth and nothing but.